In this video, we're going to be talking about the Possway version 4 electric skateboard. And if you're new into electric skateboarding or you don't want to spend over $1,000 just to try it out, I think this is a really good, affordable, still using really good quality parts, entry electric skateboard. So let's get right into the video. So I believe Possway is trying to lower the barrier to entry for electric skateboards, and I think this is a really good addition to their lineup. So let's talk about the basic specifications. The first thing we want to talk about is the maximum speed, and that's 25 kilometers. Or for the folks in the US, that's 15 miles per hour. And personally for myself, I don't want to go faster than 25 kilometers on an electric skateboard. Have you seen in my previous videos, I've reviewed the Arkboard, which is a really small penny-sized electric skateboard, and that can go up to 30 kilometers per hour, and that is way too much. It's just because it's such a small board, it's way too unstable when you're going at maximum speed. I think this range of going up to 25 kilometers is actually very decent, especially if you're kind of a new or intermediate into electric skateboarding, because trust me, going at higher speeds is not fun because you can fall off and really hurt yourself. And it's worth to mention that it's always important to wear a helmet. As you can see in my videos, I'm always wearing a helmet, and I think it's very prudent that you wear it, especially if you're new to this. Now, funny enough, this is such a stable ride. I really like how wide and long the skateboard is. So comparing this to my penny-sized electric skateboard, this is like night and day. Riding this is super comfortable, and we're gonna talk more about how it feels to ride later in this video. So let's talk about the range of this electric skateboard. How far can you go with one single battery charge from this battery pack? Now, they say for someone who is an average size, 60 kilograms on a kind of flat surface, flat terrain, you can go up to 10 miles. And that's quite good. So for people in Canada, that's about 16 kilometers. Now, personally, for my sake, I weigh 97 kilograms and I've been going on bumpy roads, hills and whatnot. And I was about to get, I'm almost close to 10 kilometers. And I have to say that's more than adequate, especially for urban travel. Let's say you're traveling in a city and maybe you're running an errand or you want to go to the park. I think for someone of my size, that is a very good performance, especially given the size of this battery pack, which is on the smaller side, which does help with the design and the overall sleek, clean aesthetic of this skateboard. Now, carrying this board around is very light. I'm actually really surprised as to how light it is, especially given that it's a longboard. It weighs 12.5 pounds or 5.7 kilograms. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is the board design. And I have to say, I really like this board design. I'm a big fan of it. First of all, it's a very sleek, clean design. You can see that there's not many wires. There's just two wires over here. And you can't even tell if it's an electric skateboard, aside obviously from the battery pack over here. Now, in terms of the actual color of here, I just really like that it's just not too flashy and it still looks really nice. Really high quality grip tape, very grippy. Now, what really contributes to the sleek design of this electric skateboard is the fact that it's using hub motors. And I personally really do enjoy using hub motors, although there's pros and cons to kind of a more belt-driven design. First of all, with the hub motor, the pro is that it's a sleeker design. As you can see here, the motor is embedded in the wheel, so it's not very obvious. Doesn't show that it's an electric skateboard as much. Now, the con with hub motors is that it makes for a little bit bumpier ride because you don't have the full urethane or the rubber of the wheel. And this is a really big wheel. This is 83 millimeters. I think it's a great size. It's definitely big and very wide, so it offers a lot of traction. And you can see here on the side of the wheel, there's plenty of space for the rubber. So even though that this is a hub motor, it still absorbs a lot of impact and it's quite a soft ride. Another pro with hub motors is that there's less maintenance, so you don't have to be worried about a kind of a belt snapping when you're riding around. So overall, I really do prefer hub motors. They're quieter, they're more sleek. Now, one thing that's really cool about hub motors is that if you run out of battery, unlike a belt-driven motor, there's very little resistance. So you can kick push this all the way home without any issues. Just check it out. And as you can see, very little resistance. So as I mentioned before, the wheels are 83 millimeters and they're quite wide and quite thick. So they do provide a lot of comfort when riding around. And what's really nice is that they didn't cheap out on the parts. They're using ABIC 9 bearings, and ABIC 9 is quite a high rating, which means that it can roll for a very long time and therefore be more energy efficient. So in terms of the trucks, I also think they're very high quality. They're 6 inches in size. And when I first took it out of the box, since I'm so heavy at 97 kilograms, I did have to tighten them a lot. I really like that Possway includes a tool to tighten your bolts and keep maintenance of your electric skateboard. So that is a very nice bonus addition. So moving along this electric skateboard, you can see that they used really high quality risers. I really like that they're kind of squishy, rubbery. So this helps with kind of vibrations and kind of the impact. So it makes for overall a smoother ride. Going into the battery pack, you can see over here there's a power button and a battery charge indicator. And on the battery pack, you can see that there's a little port to charge, obviously, the electric skateboard. So one thing I really like is the clearance here. There's a lot of clearance, which is really nice. You're not gonna bump anything. See, you go right over here, plenty of clearance thanks to the big wheels. So what gets me really excited is the fact that you never really have to touch these buttons or look at the battery indicator. Everything is on the very well, smartly designed remote control. I have to say right off the bat, this is one of the best, well-designed remote controls I've ever used. First of all, it's just really ergonomic to hold in the hand over here. You can see it fits the groove of my hand very well, and it's just very comfortable to use the scroll wheel over here to accelerate or brake. Now, most importantly is that there is a little strap over here, and it fits really well. I've had issues in the past where the strap included here was too small and my big hands couldn't fit through. So I really like that they added this little wrist strap here, especially if you're gonna be skateboarding. Maybe you fall off, hopefully not, and you don't want your remote control to fly out. So the next thing we wanna talk about is the high, medium, and low speed. And first of all, I really like how easy it is to switch between the different modes. It's really nice to just be able to do this on the remote control and not have to twiggle with any software or anything like that. I really like the hardware controls. There's the power button, and of course there's the reverse button. So one really cool thing about this is that there's a reverse functionality. And since this board is symmetrical, you can ride it in either way. So you can go forwards or backwards. Right now it's going forwards. I can hit the reverse button, and I can actually use this backwards. The first thing I noticed as soon as I picked up this remote control was how lightweight it is. I was very shocked, and I was like, okay, maybe I need to put some batteries inside. But of course, this is using a lithium rechargeable battery powered by micro USB connection. Now, that is amazing. First of all, I don't have to go out and scramble and look for AAA or AA batteries. And if they deplete, let's say I'm on a trip and I run out of batteries, I have to push my board, and I can't use it obviously through the electric mode. So having a rechargeable battery, especially if you can bring a battery pack with you and just charge it anywhere you go, is very handy. But yeah, I was just very shocked at how lightweight this remote is. This is a big difference from having two AA batteries in my remote and then having to carry that is quite heavy. Now the remote controls itself are very intuitive. Honestly, you don't need any instructions, you just pick it up and you just go. What's really nice is they include 3 different types of indicators. One is to show that it's connected to the electric skateboard. At the top over here, kind of like a Wi-Fi signal icon. Here it shows the battery percentage for the electric skateboard, and it shows a low battery indicator at the bottom for the remote. These are all very well thought out user experiences when you're using this control. In fact, this is the only thing that you're going to be interfacing with the actual electric skateboard. You don't have to go and turn on the button over here or check the battery indicator here. It's all done through this remote control. So one of my favorite features about this electric skateboard is that you never actually have to turn it on manually. You can just start riding, it automatically turns on. All you gotta do is press the power button on the remote and you're ready to go. So right now the skateboard's off. I'm just gonna start rolling it. Start to work. So to conclude with the remote control, this is very intuitive, very lightweight, very ergonomic, well designed. So for the next part of this video, I'm gonna talk about my experiences just kind of riding this electric skateboard. How does it feel? Is there any issues with it? Now, first of all, the most obvious thing you're gonna notice is that this is a longboard. This is not your typical electric skateboard that is a little bit shorter. And that gives you the pro of having a very flexible kind of 8-layer maple deck over here. So as soon as I rode over bumps and stuff like that, it was very, very comfortable. Like being able to shock absorb everything, not only in the wheels, which are really big and do absorb a lot of impact, but just the board itself is able to sustain a lot of bumps and vibrations on a bumpy surface. So I live in Toronto. Let's say there's a lot of potholes, bumps, cracks in the road, thanks to the winters, the notorious winters in Canada. This is very well suited to handle all that terrain. Now, in terms of the acceleration and the braking, now this isn't like your most sophisticated, advanced, most powerful electric skateboard. So the acceleration and torque isn't going to be like super fast. But for my needs, I think it's more than fast enough. I really do enjoy kind of like the smooth linear acceleration that is provided with this remote control and the electric skateboard. The braking is literally the same. It's in the opposite direction. So when you brake, it's not a sudden jerk movement. It's a very kind of a gradual linear response. For people who are new or people who want to take less risk and don't want like such a fast, torquey type of electric skateboard, I think that is actually a positive. So one thing I have to say about this budget electric skateboard by Possway is that it's just so much fun. Skating around this boardwalk, just seeing the amazing weather, seeing all the water, and just not having to walk and just feel the breeze on you. It's such a fun experience, and most importantly, it's super smooth. It's taking bumps so easily, especially with this flexible board. It just absorbs everything, so it's like shock absorbers. Really great ride and a lot of fun. As you can see in that video, I'm having a blast riding this electric skateboard. It is a ton of fun, especially when I'm on the waterfront. I can really enjoy the nature and just enjoy the breeze. Now, given the low price point of this electric skateboard, I have to say this has exceeded my expectations and is probably one of the best value electric skateboards on the market today. Anyways, that's it for this video. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comment section down below. I'd be very happy to answer. See you in the next video.